everybody. Why did we start the video like that? I don't know. I guess we'll keep going. Teacher friends, do you ever have days where you get done teaching and your voice is just like this a little bit? I know I'm not doing anything terrible with my technique, but I have, oh yeah, let's put that little painting in the background. Cute. That is from a little thrift shop nearby that I love. It is so cheap, and it's an oil painting. I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, I'm having some acid reflux stuff. It's not terrible, but I do notice, even when it's silent reflux, that the next day when I'm done teaching, my speaking voice is like a little like that. I mean, it's not that bad. You can hear it, but it's, if you know my voice really well, you might be able to hear that it's yeah, it's a bit, what's the word? Tired? What's that word? I want to talk about another singer right now, a famous singer who's dealing with acid reflux, and she's being really, really open about it, and how I think that that is so incredibly valuable and rare. And I think we should really celebrate it. First, I want to show you this cute little, this painting. I don't know how to switch my camera once it's already going, so. Look, it's an oil painting. It's just so cute. I love it. It's by Ruth Martin, I think. Does anybody else know? I just love it. And I put it over this. This is probably my favorite piece of furniture in the house. Not the Roomba, but look at this. It's an old antique sewing table, and all of this is like carved in, and the sewing part was taken out, and it was $15. 15. My local Habitat for Humanity. So anyway, if you guys are avid thrifters like I am, you will get that. Actually, this dress is from a thrift store. It's very cute. It is so comfy, and even though it looks silky, it is washable and dryable, which is huge. So I'm gonna come back to what I wanted to talk about to begin with. Should we put that picture in the background again? Yeah, let's try that. Which is, there is this stigma that opera singers cannot be human. We have to be robots. We cannot ever have any issues with our voices or our lives. We cannot ever say no to a stage director or a conductor. We just have to just suck it up and just take it. And the main part of that I want to address today is that singers, professional singers, all singers are vocal athletes. And in fact, that's even referenced in the Celine Dion documentary. If you haven't seen it, please see it. Incredibly inspiring, incredibly sad. There should be a medical trigger warning on it, because at the end she does go through a terrible muscle spasm, and I think what she calls a seizure as well, and they show it on camera. So be careful with that if that's going to be upsetting to you. But anyway, I'm all over the place today. Could this be a video for ADHD instead? Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna come back. What were we gonna talk about? Singers, there's just a stigma, a whole stigma about talking about if there's something wrong with you vocally. It's like you're considered weak. You don't want to show that you have any vocal flaws. Ooh, I have acid reflux. I'm never gonna get hired again. Like, I understand that, but I'm so happy that the winds seem to be shifting. And the first person that I saw this shift with was Nadine Sierra. She's one of my favorite singers. She is a beefy soprano voice. It does everything. She sings Violetta. She sings lots and lots of different things. Manon, but she also sings stuff that's like lower. She also sings Gilda, but she does some lower stuff too, and she sounds good, like very present. And I wouldn't say like heavy, but very, very warm sound in her middle and her low. So it's very exciting to hear that kind of voice be able to have that crazy upper extension. And anyway, She, I want to say within the last year or so, was having some issues with her voice. And instead of hiding it, lying about it, canceling because she has a cold or whatever, she came right out on Facebook and said to her fans, hey, this is what's going on with me. I believe in her particular case, she was diagnosed with muscle tension dysphonia, which in my understanding is just a technique issue, a little bit of extra tension going on. Not anything we need to be crucifying anyone for, but you know, when you're singing at that high of a level with that much pressure, all those high notes, just pushing your voice to the max, even if you have good technique underneath you, things can still shift a little bit, and even the smallest little flaw or crack in the technique can really come out when you've got, I'm going to show you that picture, so much on your plate, physically, emotionally, all of that. And she is at the tippy top of the game right now, so it makes sense. So instead of hiding it, she came out and told everybody about it and told people what her doctors were helping her do and how her progress was coming. And it was incredibly, incredibly inspiring to me, because I'm pretty sure all singers have had some sort of vocal struggle at some point. I definitely have. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be hireable, that I'm a bad singer. It literally just means that I am human. I remember going to the ENT for the first time ever and being really upset that I had to be there, because I'm a voice teacher. I should know everything. This is how I feel in my own mind. Of course, it's wrong. You know, I teach people how to sing. How could I possibly be having fatigue issues of my own? La la la. So the second I sat down in the chair at the ENT's office and the tech came in, whatever, he wasn't an SLP, but he wasn't the ENT. He was like the assistant. I just started crying. I just instantly was like crying. And he looked at me after hearing me talk through my tears and he said, hey, you know Michael Jordan? I was like, yeah, I know Michael Jordan. Who doesn't? He said, even Michael Jordan needs a coach. And it just took a lot of pressure off of me. And I just felt like, oh, maybe this is more normal than I'm led to believe. Maybe a lot of singers visit the ENT now and then, and it's not the end of the world. You just need a tune-up or a tweak. In my case, it was a technique issue. I went to the best SLP ever, who also was a former opera singer and voice teacher, and she fixed me right up. And now I get to pass that info on to my singers, and I use it so much. So if I had never had that issue with fatigue in my own voice, I wouldn't have gone to the ENT, I wouldn't have been connected with that SLP, and I wouldn't have all of these really extra special tools that I do now. And I am almost starting to like specialize in helping singers with fatigue, which is hilarious because I wouldn't have known nearly as much how to do that if I hadn't have been through it on my own. Now, I'm having a little fatigue at this exact moment. It's not terrible. I know what I'm feeling today is from acid reflux, not from any sort of technique thing, I can tell. There are ways to get around it with some special little technical, magical helps. Always adding a little air to the tone will help take some pressure off regardless of what is happening. I know it makes me sound like I'm $1 a minute on the phone, if you know what I'm saying, but it does really take a lot of pressure off of the vocal folds. And then things like straw exercise, all of that. But if you're getting this way from something in your body like acid reflux, you really got to address the issue. So for me, that's changing my diet. That's the hardest thing. Not eating chocolate and sugar. And yeah, things like that. The other singer that actually made me want to make this video in the first place, her name is Lisette Oropesa. She is adorable. She's a very famous soprano. She always wears her hair in like, it looks like it's been in rollers and it's like to here, and it's like cute and fluffy, kind of old timey. I've been following her. I love, love, love her voice. It's so clear and beautiful. And she came on Facebook the other day and said that she's had to cancel several big upcoming engagements because her voice was failing her. And she went to the doctor, actually several different doctors, and they told her that it was acid reflux. And so she's just been very open about her journey. Like, yes, I can sing right now, but my cords, my throat, looking a little puffy. The doctors have advised me to take some time off while I calm this down instead of pushing, meaning maybe she would be able to sing on top of it, but it might really damage her more in the long run. And I respect the heck out of her for listening now, not being pressured into doing these engagements because she was afraid to lose the money, lose the fans, lose the connections, whatever it was. I respect her so much, and I just love that it's becoming more commonplace for people to share what's actually going on. If you watch the Celine Dion documentary, you will see that she talks about her symptoms from stiff person syndrome starting 17 years ago. 17 years ago is when she first started to feel something wrong. It first showed up in her voice, which is really interesting. And she didn't know what it was. Nobody could figure out what it was for 17 years about. And during that time, Celine Dion was having to cancel shows here and there. And she said, I would have to lie because I didn't know. I didn't know. She would say she had a cold, she had allergies, whatever. And my husband just texted me. I'll get back to him in a minute. He's asking about dinner. Yay. Celine Dion. Yes, 17 years. Sorry, you are seeing the way that my darling brain works. Part of this diagnosis that I have, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, is brain fog and ADHD-like symptoms. So it definitely all goes together for me. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say about Celine Dion besides the fact that she was suffering for years with something that she didn't know. She was going to the doctors. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. And she was having to cancel shows because her throat and her voice just weren't working. And she had to lie. And in her case, I mean, lying is so understandable. It's not our choice anyway, it's her choice, but she didn't know. She didn't know what was wrong. But she said in her documentary that she's just tired. She's just tired of lying. And I get that. So thank you to Celine. Thank you to Nadine Sierra. Thank you to Lisette Oropesa and all of you other singers at the top right now who are normalizing that it's okay to be human, normalizing that we are just vocal athletes, and that sometimes athletes need a little bit of rest. Sometimes they sprain their ankle. Sometimes they need to tweak their batting technique or something. I'm not the best with the sports analogies, but just thank you. And I'm hoping that as humanity wakes up and is becoming more loving and more open in general, which I do think that I'm seeing, that this will continue to translate in the opera world as well. So anyway, much love to you all. I'm curious if you've seen the Celine Dion documentary, what you thought. I want to spell Lisette's name for you if you'd like to follow her. She's a beautiful soprano. Lisette is L-I-S-E-T-T-E, and Oropesa is O-R-O-P-E-S-A, and Nadine Sierra is N-A-D-I-N-E, and then Sierra, just like it sounds, S-I-E-R-R-A. Okay, I'm gonna go because this video is almost 15 minutes long now, but just giving you a hug. And yeah, if you need someone to support you through your vocal issues, I would be happy to be that person or to point you to someone who is. Okay, bye-bye.